Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. If you don't know me, my name is Duhamel Bentley and I am kind of excited. I'm gonna do a storyline. I do not have any makeup on, if that wasn't clear enough. The reason why is because I kind of want to be, just sharing is caring. I want to be honest about my experience working for Sally Beauty. I believe they're Sally period. I think they changed their name. And girl, I'm ready to talk about it. I'm giving you an exclusive right here, right now. All right, do we have any questions?
So I am Felipe, and thank you so much, you guys, for watching our video. So today I basically wanna share his own personal experience working at Sally Beauty Supply and how he felt about working there. So let's start with how long have you worked for them, or did you work for them?
Well, I worked for them, I want to say a rough estate amount of like 6 to 7 years. I started from being an associate and I worked my way up to leading a store and managing the store, overlooking a team of, I believe it was 6 people. And it was very interesting. I think professionally, it was an amazing opportunity. I not only learned about different products and how the business worked, I also learned how to work and manage a diversity amount of attitudes. And in the professional environment and atmosphere, I feel like it worked well. I think Sally is or at least when I was working with at the time, they were pro the better sum of the associates. So that's a good thing. That's a cool thing for sure. Um, you know, it's like any other job. You have your good and you have your bad. When I first started, I had a good manager. Then she left. There's a lot of turnaround, unfortunately, there. Better opportunities or just the environment, workload. There's just a lot of turnaround. Um, I started with a manager, she left, and then we got another one in, and she was a little strange. We know how those are. Um, she also left. She was something else. And interestingly enough, I had met the third manager that I had encountered already in another location before even starting to work there. We had built somewhat of a lovely relationship. It was like a we were friendlier than just an acquaintance. But when she got transferred to my store, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a power trip, girl. I don't know. To be quite honest with you, who? I don't even know her. But she got a power trip for sure. And safe to say that the friendliness completely died immediately down. And I gotta be honest with you, I feel like those experiences working, starting as an associate and working my way up to, a store manager, allowed me to really be the manager that I wanted to experience for my associates as well. So I asked for a transfer because I just didn't want to deal with anybody disrespecting, the workplace or disrespecting, the associates. It's just unnecessary. To be truthful and honest with you, I just never thought the compensation was
Enough.
right enough or sufficient for all of the hurdles that as an associate you have to deal with. And I want to advise to anybody who's watching this video, most definitely find your happy place in your workplace. Doesn't have to be I quit and I leave, but if there's an opportunity for you to transfer, or if there's an opportunity for you to maybe not work with a person, do your best to find your happy ground at your workplace, because honestly, a lot of the times they don't pay you enough to emotionally distraught yourself, right? So I think that's really a good piece of advice for anybody working in retail or anywhere that they have more of a flexible schedule, I think. Overall, the experience was cool. I learned a lot, definitely. I was able to put my knowledge and my gifts to service. I met a lot of interesting people, but being a cosmetologist, I'm a cosmetologist, been a cosmetologist since 2010. It's really interesting because, when you spew knowledge, right, when people know you know something, people want to kind of use it to their advantage. And I did a couple of hair treatments. I did a couple of things outside of course, of work. With some, this was way before I was even a manager, but I learned my lesson very quickly. I took two people, one for like fish tacos. I remember her, and she's like, "Oh, can you please help me correct my color?" And I was like, "Yes, just get this, and I'll meet you after work, and we'll do it." And she's like, "Great, I'll take tacos." And I was like, "Okay, we'll do that." Um, don't do it. Don't lower your professionalism in the aspect of giving you work for free. Number one, number two, and you know, for you, if you're a Sally employee or any beauty employee and you have the knowledge and the power, just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you should do it, if that makes any sense. Always protect yourself and protect your knowledge and the work you've done. If you put yourself through school, you've done so much to get where you are. Respect that. Respect yourself enough to say, you know what, I went through the sacrifices. I went to, all of the things that I had to go through to get to this point. That deserves respect. So definitely, please keep that in mind. Because I know a lot of stylists. I can speak upon my experience. I'm a very giving person. Like, if I know you can look amazing this way, I don't care to give it to you for you to look incredible, right? But sometimes it's just,
Do you think other stylists don't do that?
I mean, I don't know. I hope some of them do, but I also hope some of them also understand boundaries. I didn't. I grew up in a household where I never had value for my work. I never understood the value of what I was doing. My mom was like, "You never charge friends or family." And
that's wrong.
That is wrong.
I think that a lot of times people just like to take advantage. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the microphone is listening to me, but a lot of people in general are liking to take a lot of advantage. Even when you started working in the beauty industry, doing hair with me, I think you had a lot of lack of confidence.
Yeah.
We both had it because I didn't know the prices. And you, of course, never done it like that before. So when you tell me things like, I used to do this hair for a living. I used to do this customer came in and she didn't know how to even apply it. I would literally say, hey, I'm a cosmetologist. I'm not doing it at the moment, because I just don't
X amount of variance, yeah.
Yeah, but you end up giving it to somebody and you never worked for money in the beginning.
No.
In your career.
I remember our first color client. I told her, like, okay, you can go. I told her, "Do you have the color?" She's like, "No, I don't." And I said, "Well, let me go to Sally's. Let me get your color. You'll pay for the color and the service.
And I'll give you the discount because you also had a discount."
And I would give them my professional discount as well. I'm not doing that anymore. Sorry, honey. But she only paid me $40 for the whole full service. And I mean, we were talking about like deep conditioning. We're talking about full on blown out color, trim, blowout. I don't know what world you live in, girl. But if you're that kind of girl doing this to stylists out there, I'm watching you. Because nowhere you get that for that price. Not even in school. I'm just putting it out there. Right here. Right now. As I was saying, it was an incredible experience. And I feel like I definitely grew up in a more of exposed manner. Because like I said, I grew up in a household where it was super normal to not charge, right? It was super normal to benefit other people with the gifts that I had. And I unfortunately had a lot of attraction to the wrong crowd because I would be happy to provide my worth in my head, of course. I was like, oh, in my head, I can do this and they'll like me for it, things like that. And so of course they're gonna like you, honey. Who the hell doesn't like someone that can make you beautiful, right? For free.
Exactly.
Like for free. I've always asked myself, I have never, in my 28 years of life, I have never had someone randomly come at me and say, a friend, let's not say someone from the streets, a friend come and say like, you want a haircut? I got you. Let me take care of you. Let me make you look handsome or beautiful, whatever you want to, look, right? Yeah. All right. So I had to learn a lot. I definitely had to learn a lot emotionally and what was right and what was wrong. And definitely, I think you learn those things just by your experiences.
Exposing yourself.
Yep, exposing yourself, especially if you come from a household like myself, where, it just wasn't taught to me. Is that what we would say? Taught, teached, learned, educated?
Show you the value. I can see the difference because when I started doing selling products, my mom would say, you need to start charging for this. Your education is value. And my sister would tell me, like, even if you're going to do a trip, you have to charge for that because your time, your value, your efforts. So I think when it comes to you and your family, you never had that. People were like, greeting. So long story short, I feel like, they could have taught you better. At least your mom or your dad could have shown you, hey, if you're doing something.
It would be to the point that I would.
You feel embarrassed.
I would be embarrassed to accept money for my hard-earned work.
For the longest time, he would even say, "He just came into Felipe."
Yeah, I would have him be my cashier. I'd be like, "Can you please take care of that?"
Honestly, I know we went out and about the Sally Beauty, but I think I will be upset and I would be like, "No, you need to start taking the money." Now he's like, "Give me my money." Better have my money.
Yeah, it was to the point that before I got the courage, the exposure, I wouldn't let him leave my sessions because I was just so nervous. I was so nervous. And we had a great time with you in the sessions. We would have a good time. We would eat. We would laugh. We would have such a lovely time. Yeah. But, little by little, I had to expose myself. And Felipe, he helped me. He guided me to understanding my value as a stylist and at this time as a beauty worker, right?
Now going back to the Sally Beauty conversation,
right here,
I would like to know, how do you feel? Do you think the clientele, because you've worked in a whole variety of works by now, and like you can tell in a gas station, working in a gas station, people are just sometimes some people are not.
It's a different world.
But in Sally Beauty, how do you feel? How do you think the customers are?
So genuinely, I gotta tell you, I think that they're very passionate and not always the best way. So here's my best tip for you. If you are looking at this video saying, I want to work at Sally's. Do not overstep boundaries. Do not want to be anything other than professional. You release your information. You let them know. You best advise them. And you continue on with your job. The reason why, it's because sometimes you get so emotionally involved in the hair process. This boy comes in the door, green fried hair, and you're like, oh girl, you want to like chomp your tongue and swallow it and But here's the thing. All you can do as a Sally employee is best provide, okay, so they show you a picture. I want platinum hair. Okay, well, right now you have like a goldish green hue. You're probably at a level 7 to level 8. You want to be in a 9 to a 10, but your condition is etc., etc. This is what I can recommend to you. Hair treatments for sure. Moving forward, these are the steps, right? So don't overstep your boundaries. Please don't do it just because when that customer doesn't get the result, you're not doing it, right? You're not doing it in their house. I mean, I did for a little while when I was an associate, and I do not recommend that at all because that could turn into like such a double-edged sword, right? They can come back at work and be like, well, he did this or she did that in my house. And then you're just cross-passing worlds that is just, it's not worth it, right? So what you can do is just give your professional advice. If you're not a professional in the beauty industry, you don't have to be a professional. You can just be an enthusiast. If that's your case, then gather yourself. And if you can't do it yourself, get someone that can assist you and protect yourself at all costs and all times. Because at the end of the day, if the customer doesn't get the result that they wanted, and you swore and you promised and you signed on that receipt your name because you firmly believed that it was going to work out, and they did something wrong in their house and the result doesn't come out, and before you know it, their hair is coming off, they're coming after you, girl. They are coming after you. I promise you that.
Do you think you experienced a lot of people stealing from the Sally Beauty?
Not from the stores that I was in. I mean, there was definitely some shrinkage. That's what they call it, shrinkage, theft.
What do you think people, when male customers come into the Sally Beauty to get products, how do you feel about a lot of Sally Beauty representatives, customer service guides? How do you feel when they approach you so continuously, so in a way so uncomfortable sometimes? They like harass you.
As a customer, I definitely have experienced the harassment of a female-dominated environment. But, you know, I gotta tell you, I never experienced females or males being mistreated by Sally representatives, at least at my location. Most definitely, that was, you know, customer service is very, very key and very important. Some of them were burnt out and some of them were just like jerks, to place it nicely. But
let me interrupt you really quickly. Did you, because you work in Sally Beauty in Florida, where else?
California.
Puerto Rico?
No.
No, Puerto Rico.
Mm-mm.
So California only and
Florida.
Florida. Do you think there's a difference between customers from California and Florida?
There definitely is. There definitely is. But I think that Sally has a general customer, which is this person who wants to save money or does not want to spend the money a professional's inquiring. And they're somewhat, you know, informed, whether it may be through here or Google, and they believe they've got a grip on things, right? So definitely there's a difference because there's a difference in culture, but I also think it's very different because at the same time, hold on, I'm unraveling myself. It's very different, but it's the same. And the reason why it's the same because that's the demographic and the target the Sally store pulls.
Now you touch base in regards customers approaching associates for information. Do associates get training?
They do. Most definitely a responsible manager. Most definitely they have a pamphlet of work that they have to follow through, certain videos, constant training. I definitely think it's a good company. I mean, they've withheld a lot of different companies. I think it's one of the number one or the number one beauty supply store, you know, for non-professionals. I mean, there's a lot of smaller, you know, beauty supply stores, but they're definitely a really profitable one. And within that, you know, you have different numbers you have to hit in order for you to have an opportunity to gain prizes and things like so. So, I mean, it's a good company to work for.
And a regular customer service beauty store like Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Nordstrom, you name it, you get gratis. As an employee, do you get gratis?
With them, I don't know as of 2021, but when I was working with them, for the time that I was working with them, every single month you would get, you know,
$10,000.
You heard it here first. That's not true. You would get a specific amount of products. Let's say, for example, you would get, you know, one of these. They're all full size. It really is up to your manager. Sometimes your manager's just overwhelmed. And sometimes they'll forget, and that sucks because that's one of the best perks as for working, you know, and dealing with everybody in there.
Otherwise, how else do you know what you're recommending to?
Also, that is correct. So, I mean, you know, they do have the programs. I don't know if they currently do have them,
Discount.
But when I was working with them, you had a discount. I believe it was a 20 to a 25%. And you also had your monthly
Now, working in the
products.
beauty industry professionally, and you obviously you've handled different type of customers from celebrities to people like me. I think that one of my biggest questions would be: is there a recommendation from any items that you recommend from shampoo, conditioner that you may think of Sally Beauty, or do you have to just be careful?
It's interesting because definitely you want to be careful all around. The reality of the case is that just because your hair is color treated doesn't mean every shampoo color treated bottle is going to work for you. Personally, I always like to gear, when I was working at Sally's, I always used to like to gear my customers or my guests to the more natural section. I just felt like it delivered better results. And the pH balance of them, because they were natural, they were a lot more sought out after. However, I did grow up with my mom having herself get color at home, and she would go to Sally's and buy Ion shampoo, Ion hair color. So I definitely grew up in Sally environment. I remember the highlighting kits, if you guys remember those. I don't remember who, I think they were by L'Oreal. Yeah, they were by L'Oreal. They were like the highlight girl. They were like $15 for the kit. It was crazy. And that's how my mom would get her hair highlighted. And I loved it. I loved just walking in there, looking at all of the products. It was just so much fun for me. Go in there, check the product out, read the ingredients, ask for advice and suggestion. A lot of the times, the representative might be knowledgeable and will guide you through that. And if you do get that, make sure they know what a difference they're making in your hair's health. Sometimes you'll get customers that are just like, I need this, and then you as a representative will be like, well, I don't know, so I'll just go and pick out the most popular thing. Again, it doesn't work for everybody, so as a beauty in-store professional, that's where you come in to make a difference.
For anybody looking for a job at Sally Beauty Supplies, what do you recommend?
I recommend you to think about it thoroughly. The reason why I say that is because it's a lot of work. There's a lot of different levels of work that you have to do. There's a lot of things that you have to take care of. A lot of people thought, oh, this is easy. It's a very easy job. No, it's actually quite tedious. There's a lot of involvement into there. And if you do your research and you say, okay, I do want to give this opportunity, have your best attitude. Just be glad that you're there to make a difference in somebody's day and somebody's beauty routine, and enjoy your products if you do get your products right.
Yeah, lastly, I want to touch base, and are there any tricks that you may know, like using coupons, periods?
So, interestingly enough, you definitely have opportunities to get percentages off. And Sally has like 3 different prices, which is regular pricing, the member pricing, which I think it's like $5. I don't know if it's changed. When I was working there, it was $5, but you got a $5 credit back. And then you had the professional discount. So definitely prices are different. And that way you can always save on your price product. They also sometimes do have percentages off, but when I was working there, they were very restrictive with a lot of their coupons. They wouldn't really let you do that, really wouldn't let you reuse the coupon. They were just very strict about it.
I guess they just didn't want people to take advantage of it. Now, I do remember one thing that you mentioned one time. They are a sister company with who?
So they actually are
the owners,
sister/mother company to Cosmoprof, which is now the type of store that I kind of circle more. They have more professional brands like Kenra or Schwarzkopf or Mydenity, Gaitang. They have just a lot of different great brands that, as a professional, when you're thoroughly educated, you understand the benefits and the results, you target a lot more. So, that's a fun fact for sure. If you are, let's say, for example, a Sally Beauty employee, you can also try your best to transfer, if that's your wish, to a Cosmoprof store, which I thought that was really cool. Fun time. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the experience of us talking in and out of the conversation about my experience working for Sally Beauty Supply, or I think it's Sally Supply, or just Sally. I have no idea.
Sally girl.
Sally girl. I've lost touch. I'm not sure. But if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, we would love to have you be part of the Dufe family. Girl. Did I say my name is Duamel Bentley? I forgot if I did or if I didn't. I don't know. But if you don't know, hi. What's going on? I will catch you on the next one. Bye.